कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणास्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
भद्रं कर्णेभिः
शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वमाम् अवभक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचोर्ध्वातात् अवाध्वरातात् सर्वतो माहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तः तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रवृत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो अनो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वम् अवस्थात्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वमिन्द्रस्त्वमग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरो गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनस्वरूपम् गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम् नादसन्धानम् सगुंहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेश विद्या गणक ऋषिः निश्रुत गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैर्सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्याधौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायन्ति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमदपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय वरदमूर्तये नमः
ॐ भद्रं
कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोस्तुते
महागणपति नमोस्तुते
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
प्रथम वन्दना प्रणवाकारा
वन्दना प्रणवाकारा
प्रथम वन्दना प्रणवाकारा
वन्दना प्रणवाकारा
विघ्नेश्वरा विनायका
विघ्नेश्वरा विनायका गणपते नमोस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोऽस्तुते
मातङ्गवदना नमोस्तुते
महागणपते नमोऽस्तुते
महागणपते नमोस्तुते
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आदिपूजित गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
आनन्ददायक गणनाथा
प्रथमवन्दना प्रणवाता
प्रथमवन्दना प्रणवाकार
विघ्नेश्वरा
विघ्नेश्वरा विनायका विघ्नेश्वरा विनायका गणपते नमोस्तुते
With love, reverence, and gratitude, I offer my humble pranams, our obeisances, to Sri Sathya Sai Baba, our Lord, our teacher, our Guru. Respected revered faith leaders, Council Member Hemingway, and Sai brothers and sisters, all. A warm and loving welcome to all of you. Sai Ram. Loving welcome to this wonderful facility, gift of Swami. On behalf of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, it is my great pleasure to be your MC in today's morning session. We come from many parts of the world, many corners of the country, USA, many lands, many cultures, many faiths. But we are all united in one thing, our love for God. Our love for our beloved teacher, Guru, Sathya Sai Baba, whom we call lovingly Swami. And our love for all creation and each other. Baba taught us to love all and serve all. Accordingly, this beautiful Sai Center in this thriving community of Riverside is called Sai Prema Nilayam, or the abode of divine love. And the conference we are holding today in this magnificent venue is about love and service, essential tools for us to realize our own innate divinity and manifest it. I'll just end with one quote for the opening. On July 4th, 1968, Sri Sathya Sai Baba said, and this is my most favorite quote, "I have come to light the lamp of love in your hearts, to see that it shines day by day with added luster. I have come to tell you of this universal unitary faith, this path of love. This is the message of love I bring." This is said over 50 years ago, on July 4th, 68. It is true today, it will be true tomorrow, forever. Now, for the next few days of this conference, let us all experience this love, deepen our faith, and continue our spiritual journey through love and service. Now, I'd like to call upon a few senior, respected leaders of the organization to light the lamp to inaugurate the conference. Thank you for that beautiful bhajan and uplifting song, and thank you, our senior leaders, for lighting the lamp of love. Now, wasn't that a beautiful bhajan? Can we give a round of applause? Now, I'm very happy to introduce to you the chairman of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization, Dr. Narendranath Reddy, for the inaugural address. Dr. Reddy graduated with honors from SV Medical College, Tirupati, India. He specialized in internal medicine at the New Jersey College of Medicine and Dentistry and subspecialized in endocrinology at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, New York. He has been a consultant and a practicing internist endocrinologist in Southern California, USA for over 40 years. And even I was his patient at one time. Dr. Reddy has been serving in the Divine Mission for nearly 4 decades. He is actively involved in service activities at the community level, at the national level, at the international levels. And he has accolades, not only from this country, but from other countries abroad. He has traveled to more than 45 countries, spreading the love, sharing the message, and the works of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Now we'd like to invite Dr. Reddy to address us, please.
With love, gratitude, and reverence, I offer my prayerful pranams at the divine lotus feet of our dearest, loving, and omnipresent Lord, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected faith leaders, Honorable Councilman Steve Hemingway, dear brothers and sisters, greetings of love and peace to every one of you. On the behalf of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization and on behalf of Sai Prema Nilayam, as he said, it's the abode of divine love. That is the source, path, and goal of human life. I welcome every one of you present here and also the brothers and sisters who have joined online for this auspicious celebration of 5-day event. So if you cannot be physically present, you can still enjoy the celebration online. Some of the dignitaries I was there with and faith leaders were asking, what is this Sri Sathya Sai International Organization about? I know many of you know, but some of you are not aware what they're saying. I want to just give a brief overview what Sri Sathya Sai International Organization is. It is a service and a humanitarian and also spiritual organization to spread the message of love and service. The mission of the organization is to realize one's real nature, which is divine love, and manifest that divine love in our everyday life and help others also realize that divine love. That is the mission and goal of the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization. And what is the way to do that? For that Bhagawan Baba has shown us the way, and we call that 4 commandments. One is love all. Not love some people who belong to our country, our culture, our religion, our thing. Love all means not only human beings, but animals, plants, birds, bees, everything. All includes all encompassing. And serve all, it means everyone. Humans, animals, plants, birds, bees. So that is the thing. And help ever, that means not sometimes, but always help. Day and night and thought, word and deed. And hurt never. This means thought, word, and deed, you don't hurt anybody. So this process, we reach the goal. So what is the practical way to do that? Swami has said the best way is to love God is love all, serve all. Love in action is service. So Sri Sathya Sai International Organization is present right now in 114 countries, 114, spreading this love and message and doing service. And actually, I'm very happy to say we have representatives from 30 countries here right now. And they will be doing actually a flag procession tomorrow. So these service activities, just I will briefly give you an overview. We have our healthcare professionals providing free state-of-the-art healthcare through medical camps, medical clinics, mobile clinics, and preventive healthcare and health education in all these countries. And also we have got free education programs. So our Baba says, end of education is character. So we have 40 Sathya Sai schools and 33 institutes of Sathya Sai education all over the world, which the emphasis is not only on academic excellence, but the development of character. So we give value-based education in all these places. And also in the community, we have the education human values programs. And third thing is involved in services, the various humanitarian relief work. Like whenever there is any major natural disasters, Swami says there is no natural disasters, everything is man-made disaster because we abuse nature, earthquakes, cyclones, floods, fires, any of these things, our people right away go on the spot and provide relief. Right now, our people are involved in the relief efforts in Ukraine, Syria, Turkey, and many other parts of the world. If you want more details, go to our website, Humanitarian Relief, Sathya Sai Humanitarian Relief. And in addition, more important is right now, environment is a concern. Go Green initiatives. We have a lot of Go Green initiatives, like some example we have is massive tree planting, use of alternative energies like solar energy, and also reducing the plastic and using the recycling, and beach cleaning programs, river cleaning programs, and a lot of people, our young adults, seniors are all involved in these various Go Green initiatives. So these are all the various service initiatives. That is the purpose through which you reach God, because they say beautiful saying, service to man is service to God. Actually, Swami says the lips that serve and hands that serve are holier than the lips that pray. So always hands should be used in serving others. The next unique thing about the organization is with harmony of religions, unity of faith. Baba has said, quote, there is only one God. He is omnipresent. And there is only one religion, religion of love. There is only one language, language of the heart. And there is only one caste, caste of humanity. And he has also said, let there be many faiths, let them coexist, let them do more and more work. Let people sing the glory of God in all languages, in all tunes, so in all countries. Let it flourish. This should not interfere with the unity of humankind. So this is the message he said. And he says, let Hindu be a better Hindu, a Christian be a better Christian, a Buddhist be a better Buddhist. So anything whatever faith you follow, you do that, but be intensified. So in following that, in our organization, we celebrate all festivals. Hindu festivals, Mahashivratri, Dasara, Deepavali. We observe Hanukkah and Passover, and then Rosh Hashanah. And for Christians, we celebrate Easter and Christmas. For Buddhists, we celebrate Buddha Purnima. Actually, we are going to celebrate Buddha Purnima all over the world on May 5th. And we are also going to have online celebration. Regarding the Easter, 2 weeks ago, I was in Mexico City. We had the Holy Week celebrated there in Mexico City. They had 50th year of the Golden Jubilee celebration of Sathya Sai organization in Mexico City. So we had a wonderful celebration, and there they celebrated the Holy Week of Easter. And also we observe Eid, Ramadan. I didn't know today is the last day of Ramadan, so the Imam said he didn't want to eat because today is the last day. He didn't want to take any snacks. So we observe that all the festivals because we believe there is only one God and He is omnipresent. That way I was very blessed to be be able to visit all these holy places, like not only Hindu pilgrimage places like Banaras, Varanasi, Kedarnath, Badrinath, but I was blessed to go to the Western Wall, the most holy site for Jews in Jerusalem. And I was also blessed to go to the Buddhist holy place, Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha in Nepal, and also Sarnath, where he gave the first sermon, Lord Buddha. And also I was happy to be there at the birthplace of Lord Jesus, Bethlehem, to visit Nazareth, Galilee, and the Holy Sepulchre. And also the latest thing is in Muslim, so that Al-Aqsa, right? I am telling right? Al-Aqsa, the Dome of the Rock, I was able to visit. That is one of the holiest for the Muslims, and also Jama Masjid. And the last one is the Baha'i faith. I went to Haifa, that is one of the holiest for Baha'i. So to see, but wherever we go, if you are tuned to God, you feel that holiest vibration. Just open the heart, because everybody is praising the same Lord in different languages, different ways. Once we believe that, then we are all feel that unity. That is the whole message. We are all. That's why I'm very happy that all these faith leaders are there. But Swami Sarvdevananda was there in 2018 in Toronto. There was Parliament of Religions. I thought there are only maybe 10 religions, 20 religions. I was surprised to know there are more than 200 religions and thousands of faith believers. So you need to respect everybody. But to be all-inclusive, it is not easy. We can't include thousands of people. So the Baba made it very simple. There are 5 fundamental human values: Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. Truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. These are very universal. Nobody can deny that, whether whatever faith you belong. So we all human beings. Anybody you are human, you believe in these human values. But the underlying is the love. That is the most important. Swami said, God is love. Love is God, live in love. Start the day with love, fill the day with love, end the day with love. And what did Lord Jesus say? The greatest and first commandment is love thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. So that is the thing. And what did Lord Buddha say? Ahimsa paramo dharmaha. Non-violence is the highest dharma. And in Islam, one of the 2 major pillars of Islam is prayer and giving alms to others, helping other people. And the Shama prayer in Judaism, it talks about only one God who is omnipresent. So the thing is, to all of us to be united as one. So I pray to the omnipresent, only one God who is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, omnifelicious, so that we are all live in divine love, so that we experience divine bliss. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for that beautiful talk explaining Swami's messages for all humanity and the 5 cardinal human values. Now, before we start hearing our eminent multi-faith leaders today, I'd like to recognize Council Member Steve Hemingway of Riverside, who is present here today with us. The Honorable Mr. Hemingway represents Ward 7 in Riverside, and he was elected to the Riverside City Council in November 2019. Sai Prema Nilayam, where we are today, is located in his district. Calling Riverside home for over 2 decades, he believes that our community values service to others and hard work, which is the same that Dr. Reddy said before, make us strong. So now I respectfully request Councilmember Hemingway to address this August gathering for a few minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for the invitation to be here today. I'm honored to just share a few words about what it means that you all are located here. This space is here in Ward 7 in Riverside. It wasn't too long ago that my legislative field rep and Alvord Unified School Board member, Lizeth Vega, and we were here. Some work has been done, and it is an amazing space. It's beautiful, and I'm grateful for the beautiful service that we've had so far, the beautiful welcome, and the amazing and beautiful work that will happen because you all are here. It didn't take us long after we toured around that we shared a meal, and we were inspired by what we heard you all do in this organization. And the selfless care and love for others that you do, not only locally, but around the world, means so very much. And I couldn't help but think, can we imagine our world if everyone functioned that way? And so we look forward to the great work that will happen in our neighborhoods here, but in our city, and around the world because of the amazing vision and love and care, selfless love and care for everyone. So thank you for letting me be here just to share a few moments. We are here to support and work together in any way possible. So we'll probably and hopefully see you more. So thank you so much for this time.
Thank you, Council Member, for that wonderful welcome, and we look forward to working with you and your staff for many, many years to come. As mentioned before by Dr. Reddy and others, the Sri Sathya Sai International Organization promotes and practices harmony of religions and unity of faiths. Accordingly, the conference begins today with an interfaith discussion about love and service common to all major religions and faiths. But first, let us start with some music. Let us have some multi-faith prayers to acknowledge, as Swami said, fatherhood of God and brotherhood of humanity.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Shema Israel, Adonai
Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Hashem Vahu Vahishtim Asti Ushta-asti Ushta-amai Yatashai Vahishte Hashem Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
It is now my great pleasure and honor to introduce to you respected Swami Mahayogananda, the President of the Interreligious Council of Southern California. Swami Mahayogananda is a monk of the Ramakrishna Order. He has been serving at its Hollywood branch, the Vedanta Society of Southern California, since 2013. He has had the opportunity to serve the order in India from 2002 to 2008. And since June of 2021, Swamiji has been serving as the President of the Interreligious Council of Southern California. On another note, we would like to thank him profusely for arranging this multifaith talk at this conference today. In addition, Swami Mahayogananda has very kindly agreed to chair the interfaith presentation by the leading faith leaders of Southern California. Now I respectfully call upon Maharaj Mahayogananda to take over the podium. Sai Ram.
Good morning. I'd like, first of all, to congratulate you on this beautiful space. It's a wonderful place of worship, a place to hold these ideals we've been hearing about of love and service and of realizing our true divinity. It's wonderful. I'm sure most of us know that the Vedas sing this beautiful note, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. We acknowledge this truth, that their existence, that which is truth, reality, is one. But the wise people, the sages, they have different names for it. They call it in different ways. We approach that reality in different ways. This is the glory of Sanatana Dharma, to introduce this idea. And from this idea comes this gathering we have today. We have respected leaders of different religious traditions, and we look forward to hearing from them about the ideal of love and service in their own tradition. It's been a privilege to be serving as the president of the Interreligious Council of Southern California. What do? We meet. We learn about each other's traditions, and we develop friendships. We become friends with one another. This is so much needed today when we build walls around us. I am a Hindu, you're a Muslim, we shouldn't talk to each other. Nonsense. When we get together and talk, we find so many commonalities. We have so much in common. We're all human beings. We have so much in common. And I'd also like to point out that we also recognize the differences. It's not that we want to brush over the differences and say, well, actually, we're all exactly the same. We have different ways of approaching the divine, different ways of living our spiritual life. And that is also important, to recognize the uniqueness of each tradition and each individual. How one I would like to just mention the names of our leaders who will be speaking, and then I will give a little introduction to each one. We have Dr. Mustafa Hamza Kuko. We have Deborah Boudreau of Buddhist Tsushi Foundation. We have Rabbi Hillel Cohn. We have Reverend Petra Mallis Sternberg, and we have Swami Sarvadevananda. So I'm thrilled that we are beginning this program in this way. As Dr. Reddy also mentioned, I also found this quote from Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Wonderful quote. Let the different faiths exist. Let them flourish. Let the glory of God be sung in all the languages, in a variety of tunes. That should be the ideal. Respect the differences between the faiths and recognize them as valid, as far as they do not extinguish the flame of unity. I think it's a wonderful, there's quite a bit here. Each religious tradition, each individual sings her or his own tune, sings her or his own language. Let them all be sung in all the languages, and we will respect the differences also, recognizing them as valid as long as they do not extinguish this flame of unity. That's the one point that we do want to recognize, that yes, all the faiths are paths. So I will now request each of our representatives, each of our faith leaders, to speak to us for 5 or 6 minutes. And we'll begin with Dr. Mustafa Hamza Kuko. Dr. Kuko came to the United States from Sudan in 1978 to study at the University of Chicago. He had received a bachelor's degree from Khartoum in Sudan and a master's degree from the University of Indiana, and a doctorate in demography from University of California, Riverside. He served as a professor at Imam University in Saudi Arabia for 12 years, and as a consultant to the Ministry of Education in Saudi Arabia for 8 years, and was a long-time director of the Islamic Center of Riverside for 18 years. He is now retired, sort of, because I know that he's extremely active in helping Muslim communities in Southern California and many other things. So, Dr. Mustafa Kuko, please.
I always introduce myself as a retired university professor. Well, greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you for the organizations of my brothers who invited me today to be with you in this very beautiful building. This is the first time for me to be here, actually, and I'm honored to be here with you today with this beautiful crowd. Actually, and we are meeting here from all faiths, from all traditions, from all denominations, showing allegiance to the one Lord that we all worship and serve. And the best to start with is the opening chapter in our holy book, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Amen. So I say in His name, the most merciful, the most compassionate, all praise are due to our Lord Allah, the Lord of the universe, the most all of thing, Today, that's what we mean. Love for everyone. Just because we have been commanded. If you look into the book on chapter 4, verse 36, our Lord is commanding us to love and do service to our parents, to our kinship relatives, to our neighbor who is a relative of us, to our neighbor who is not a relative of us, to with Him. And we met with Him even occasionally or accidentally, and also to the wayfarers, to the needy, and to the poor. That's the command. And then we look also into chapter 21, verse number 107. The Lord is telling our prophets, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We haven't sent you. This is a direction. A directive to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him and upon all the prophets of the Lord, Moses and Jesus, all of them. He's been directed that he is no more than a mercy to all mankind, to the Muslim, to the Jews, to the Christian, to the Hindus, to the Megan, to everyone, to those who have any religion. So he should be a mercy. A mercy in our Islamic connotations also means love, means compassion, means kindness, means grace, means do good to people, That's exactly what we look at it, And that's why our Prophet has told us, لن تؤمن حتى تحب لأخيك كما تحب نفسك. This is own words. I'm saying his own words in Arabic, You will never be a true believer unless you love for your brothers and sisters whatever that you love for yourself. For everyone. Not only for the Muslims, for everyone. You have to love everyone else, otherwise you're not a believer. That's exactly how we look at it. Here, this is how he told us, that love is something. And he said, when he was asked about the best deed that a human being can commit itself to it, What did he say? He didn't say you go to the mosque and you pray and you fast and do this. He said, you please your brothers and your sisters, all of them. They need clothing, you give them clothing. They need food, you give them food. They need errand or a job to get done to them, get it done for them. That's the best type of people. And then when he was told also about them on another occasion, he said, everyone that has a truthful tongue and a mahmoom heart. And they say, what is mahmoom heart? He said, the heart that does not harbor any sinful intention, and the heart that is full of love and does not have animosity or hate or superiority over everyone else or envy. That's the heart that you want, So that's the message of the Ramadan. Ramadan is a message of tazkiyah, purification of our souls, a cleansing of our heart, and a polishing of our senses, all of them to work and do good for everyone. That's exactly how we look at it, And we could, at the end of it, they say, amal salih, which is good deeds for everyone here. So even the Prophet tells us, he said, يعني يمشي أحدكم في حاجة أخيه خير له أن يجلس في مسجد يحتاج في مسجد هذا شهرين. This is in Arabic. He said, whoever of you can go out with his brothers or his sister and help him get something done for them or get an errand done for them, it's much better for him to stay in the holy mosque, the grand mosque, for 2 months meditating. So just if you really love them, you have to help them. This is exactly what we are all here, my brothers and sisters, for. And I thank my brothers who invited me today and the organization here because actually they are building a sort of a religion that is bringing everyone together. And the underlying concept is love and service for everyone. That's how we like it. Because when also the Prophet, the first time when he migrated from city of Mecca, when he had kicked out of Mecca and he came to Medina, the first saying of he said, "Oh, you people, all of you, spread peace, number one. Then give food and deal with everyone like your brother and your sister." That's the first thing that he said when he arrived in the new location. This is how we look at Islam. And that's why me and my brothers in this area, Riverside, and I have my very good brother here, Rabbi Cohn, with whom we have done so much work together in the area. Also, one of my sisters is here also. That's from that concept, actually. We have established a very effective interfaith community, Riverside area, and interfaith work in this area. And that's why the County of Riverside in 2002, when they started their program of Champion of Justice, they have honored us, the rabbi and pastor and myself, because of what we're doing, bringing people together, having people love each other, and that's our essence and brothers in this life. So I'm calling here, and each everyone else, you have to love your brothers, you have to love your sisters, you have to be ready to serve them in any conceivable way. That's exactly where we look at it as Muslims, and also in the other traditions quite equally. So there is so much of literature. Actually, our Islamic literature is replete with issues of love and serving others and be ready to be with them, at any given time, particularly in time of hardship and all that kind of stuff. And the limited time will not allow me to go over all of it, But the Prophet is telling us, if you have food, try to share it with other people. If you have extra clothing, try to give it to other people, And if you have a means of transportation, which is called zahr in our literature, you have also to share it with others. If your neighbor does not have a car and you have a car, and he wants to get an errand for him, get it done for him. So I don't want to take much of your time, And again, I thank you, my brothers, for inviting me, including me in this program. And thank you, everyone, for your kind attendance. And I'm honored to be here with this very beautiful gathering in this very beautiful place, And I pray for the Lord to make this organization successful and be able to help each and every one of all of us here in Riverside area. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Mustafa Kuko, and I especially want to acknowledge your sacrifice that today is the last day of Ramadan, the last day of the holy month, and you took this time to spend it with us. So thank you. We'll now hear from Deborah Boudreau, who is our colleague on the Interreligious Council. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation and has more than 33 years of experience working on significant charity, medical care, education, and humanitarian aid projects. Deborah was previously the Tzu Chi Medical Foundation CEO and various community advisory councils for SARS, H1N1, Ebola, Zika, and COVID-19. Deborah engages with social work and sustainability of WASH, that is water, sanitation, and hygiene programs, among Sustainable Development Goals grassroots projects. She leads Buddhist and Catholic interfaith dialogues and serves as a UN Multifaith Advisory Council member. She led environmental policy and sustainability programs for the Climate Action Task Force and served as one of the board of trustees of the Parliament of the World's Religions. As a Buddhist commissioner, she has represented the Tzu Chi Foundation in various discussions on climate change, grassroots affairs and policy, and biodiversity. To this day, Deborah has patterned her daily life on the teachings of Dharma Master Chen Yan: gratitude, respect, and love. She carries this spirit into communities in need and all over the world. Please.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations. What a beautiful space. I come to Riverside for so many times, but I never know this is the treasure of the Riverside. Oh my God. I'm so happy can be here to share with you. Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation, Tzu Chi Buddhism. We have such a wonderful, diverse conversations. But let me share with you who we are. Tzu Chi Foundation is leading by Dharma Master Zheng Yan. Dharma Master Zheng Yan, she is in Taiwan. And we are 56 years old, leading to 57 years in Taiwan. So you can see her hands. She used sign language, and she picking up English vocabulary day by day. So she has really surprised me. When you see the hands, two hands, this is people. People with one united voices under our mouth to say good deeds, good word. This is people. Everyone, leave no one behind. People working together. Today, the interfaith, no matter what kind of religious we are, we all come to this community to deliver our love and care, because we care for the community. She always reminds us, as immigrants, we come to the United States. We're standing on the top of the soil of the United States, under the blue sky of the United States. We have to be a better best global citizens to care our community. How can we do that? A lot of time we started from ourselves. Tzu Chi have 4 major missions. Tzu means compassion. Ji means relief. A lot of people cannot pronounce properly. They say, are you Sushi Foundation? Are you Tai Chi Foundation? Are you Swiss Foundation? It's a lot of creativity. But there's only one common, it's compassion. Tzu, compassion. Ji, relief. Tzu, Ji. We have 4 ways to put Tzu Chi Buddhism in action. Charity. Today our topic, your retreat topic, love and services. Charity started from your home, your community, your neighborhood, your state, your nation, your global universe. We deliver the love and care through respect, gratitude, and love. Medical, everyone should have the equal right and opportunity to access the medical. And education, children is our hope for the future. We should provide it intensive education, not only regular school, but the character education, the core value of the human, why we are different, why compassion and wisdom is side by side. And humanitarianism. Without humanitarianism, the sentient beings cannot be equal. From these 4 major missions, the whole universe is so diverse right now. So we expanded into, Master Zheng Yan expanded into international disaster relief. No matter Ukraine, Poland, and Turkey, Syria, and even Nepal, India, Sri Lanka. Tzu Chi International Disaster Relief has gone to 128 countries. At this moment, we're still in Turkey. When the spotlight's moving away, shining away, we're still there. And can you believe or not, today I'm still doing COVID-19 community outreach education. From humanitarian, we go into environmental awareness. Climate urgency is such a dynamic. I originally tried to show off, to share with you a plastic bottle can make a blankets called eco blankets. And I would like to invite you as a board of trustee of the Parliament of World Religions this year in Chicago. Please sign up and registration. You're going to get an eco-friendly, made by plastic bottle, also water conservation, a very unique tote bag. The tote bag will bring you become one of the movement for the environmental awareness. So please go into the website to take a look at the program. It's wonderful. And then from environmental awareness, we focus for marrow donor registry. We have the data for Asian and also globe. We all know everyone have a different DNA. We all coming from different heritage. But when something happens, you need somebody to help you out. So we have a stem cell center and marrow donor registry. The number 8 program we have is community volunteers. Everyone can be a volunteers. Community volunteers can bring everybody together. You know, at this time in San Bernardino, we have such a nice shining day in the community. San Bernardino Arrowhead still have people suffering the heavy snow. the seniors no way for access the food. Tzu Chi volunteer delivered the food package to go into the community. I'm so grateful when I come into this temple, this magnificent building. I saw the brothers wear the blue and white, the white uniform with the blue scarf. I say, wait a minute, am I coming home? And later on I say, yeah, I do coming home because we are blue and white. So this is already have a common language right there, because the common language called love. That's the love and care and service for all. No matter, I'm a Buddhism, we call Buddhist in action, compassion in action. Buddhism in action, compassion in action, all have a common goal. I always remind people, we can have a lot of programs for minority, for immigrants in this country. Why Southern California Interfaith Council is so important? Because we need to work together. Sustainable Development Goal number 17, partnership. Partnership is so critical. Without partnership, without collaboration, communication, coordination, and most important, collaboration, communication, coordination, and partnerships, everything will not be complete with the circularity of love. So, from the dots, from the line, from a whole page, from the whole universe, there is a positive energy. The positive energy coming from your heart, your soul. Buddhist in action, compassion in action. Tzu Chi, congratulate your new horizon. And love and care is everyone. That's work together. Partnership, SDG 17. Thank you so much to allow me to share. Thank you.
Deborah Boudreau for sharing with us about Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation. And perhaps we have some areas where we can work together. Ramakrishna Mission also does a lot of work, and Sri Sathya Sai Baba International also does a lot of relief work. So perhaps we have some scope for working together. Let's explore that. I will now like to invite Rabbi Hillel Kohn to address us. Rabbi Kohn is a native of Berlin, Germany. He and his family escaped Nazi Germany in 1939, coming to the United States as refugees. He was raised in the Pacific Northwest and here in Southern California. He received a BA in political science from UCLA and a bachelor and master of Hebrew letters, as well as rabbinic ordination from Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati. In 1963, he was ordained. He joined Congregation Emmanuel here in Riverside in 1963 as assistant rabbi, and then he served as co-rabbi and also senior rabbi, retiring in 2001. But that didn't stop him. After that, he served as a rabbi for congregations in Las Vegas and Palm Desert. He earned a doctor ministry degree from the Claremont School of Theology and has been awarded Honorary Doctor of Divinity from Hebrew Union College and Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from Cal State San Bernardino. Rabbi Kohn has been involved in many community organizations and interfaith organizations. He was a regular participant on Religion on the Line on KABC Radio in Los Angeles and produced and hosted 50 television programs on The Many Faces of San Bernardino, which was a project of the Human Relations Committee of the city. He currently serves on the Diocesan Healthcare Committee of the Roman Catholic Diocese of San Bernardino, is a member of the Priest-Rabbi Dialogue, and serves on numerous commissions, councils, and NGOs, including Planned Parenthood, the Hillel Council, and Making Hope Happen. Rabbi Kohn, please.
Thank you very much. I must tell you that I am awestruck by what I'm experiencing today. The beauty of this place, the sounds that we heard as we assembled, fill me with awe, and all I can do is respond with words that come from the scriptures, from the book of Psalms. The psalmist said, Zeh hayom asa Adonai, Nagila v'nismachavo, this is the day which God has made. Therefore we rejoice and are glad because of it. And with that I would join the other words of the psalmist who wrote, Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad, how good and how pleasant it is for sisters and brothers to gather together in unity. And may the gathering here be reflected in what we do outside of this place, outside of our holy places, what we do in our day-to-day lives. The theme of your conference, love and service, are words that resonate in all of our traditions, but each perhaps in a somewhat different way. When I think of love in the Jewish tradition, I think not only of words that come out of our holy scriptures, but also that come out of our liturgical practice. Words like Ahavat Torah, that one is commanded, mandated to be a lover of Torah, not just the first 5 books of Hebrew scriptures, not just the Hebrew scriptures, but all wisdom as it has come to us from the worlds of science, the worlds of culture, the entire world in which we live. To be those who respect and admire and care about wisdom. And along with that, the words that are so fundamental to Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, words that were expressed in the scriptures in the book of Leviticus, Ve'ahavta l're'echa kamocha, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. A commandment to not just be loving to the person next to you or the person in this world, but also to one's self, to appreciate oneself, to be respectful of who one is so that we may then be respectful of others whom we meet on life's way. Ahavat olam, love of the world, not just of olam eternity, but olam the world, a love of the world. And as was told to us in the introductory message by Dr. Love of the plants, the vegetation, the mountains, the valleys, all of nature, and love of culture, music, art, literature, drama, dance, those things that bring meaning to our lives. And how does all of that come together? It comes together in what we call in our various faiths, but in my faith we call it the love of God, where we're commanded, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your might. And how does one express that love? By striving to become a more godly person, a godlike person. I want to share a quote with you that comes from a contemporary colleague of mine, one whose words have meant a great deal to people as they make their way particularly through the sorrows of life. Rabbi Harold Kushner, the author of the classic work, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Not why bad things, but when bad things happen. We don't have the answer to the why, but we do have the answer to the when. He once wrote, a loving parent does not show genuine love by telling a child, do whatever you want. That would not indicate love, but lack of concern. or an abdication of responsibility. The truly loving parent says to the child, I care very much about you, and although I cannot live your life for you, I want you to have the benefit of my experience. And Rabbi Kushner goes on to say that Jews understood from the beginning that Judaism was a religion of love because it did not leave one to find the way through life alone and unaided. It offered advice, insight, and experience. And it was out of God's love and concern for Israel, the Jewish people, that God gave them the Torah so that though stumbling blindly, they might be aided by its principles and take heed of its warnings, and thus draw closer to God. I have been struck for a long time and shared particularly often with couples that stand under the chuppah, the marriage canopy, with me, words that come out of the Hasidic world of a couple centuries ago. There was a rabbi, Moshe Leib of Sasov, who inquired, what does love really mean? And went to all of the experts of his time. It would be as if in one's day today, one would go to the sociologists and the psychologists and the economists and everything, not satisfied with what love really meant. And in his travels, he stopped at a small inn and overheard a conversation between two simple peasants. And one peasant said to the other, tell me, brother, do you love me? The other said, of course I do. He said, no, tell me, brother, do you love me? He said, sure, I already answered that. He asked it a third time and received a say. He says, if you love me, tell me what gives me pain. The other said, how would I know that? He says, if you don't know what gives me pain, how can you say you love me? To love one's neighbor, that rabbi taught, is to know what gives that person pain and to bear the burden of that person's sorrow, to which I would add, it's also to know that person's joy and that person's fulfillment. That's what really being human and godlike is all about. And the second of your theme, service, in my tradition, it's probably expressed best in a teaching of the ancient rabbi who a couple thousand years ago wrote, Lo ha-midrash ha-ikar ela ha-maaseh. It's not the belief that counts, it's the act that counts. It's what you do that really makes a difference. And what action, what service is required? Perhaps it was best expressed by the prophet Micah, who said, to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with the Lord your God. So let me conclude by sharing with you a passage from a liturgical volume used in some synagogues, and that is this. To be just is to be angry when justice is violated. To be just is to choose just means to right wrongs. To be just is to wish that the guilty be convicted and the innocent acquitted. To be just is to withhold judgment until the facts are known. To be just is to give every person the benefit of any doubt. To be just is to listen to all opinions. To be just is to demand justice for others as well as for yourself. To be just is to desire that the rights of all shall be respected. To be just is to desire that the needs of all shall be satisfied. To be just is to disbelieve that the rich deserve to be rich and the poor deserve to be poor. To be just is to disbelieve that the successful are more to be respected than the unsuccessful. To be just is to reverence the divine image in every single human being. To be just is to work for a society in which these ideals are realized. We're told that we may not have an answer to what happens after we die, but we do imagine that when a person is brought to judgment in the world, questions will be asked. Did you conduct your life with integrity? Did you set aside fixed times for increasing and enhancing your knowledge? Did you occupy yourself with raising a family? Did you work for universal peace? And did you acquire understanding? If the answers to these questions is yes, then indeed you have expressed a love of God. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen, for your beautiful words, very thought-provoking words on the meaning of love and the meaning of justice. Thank you. We'll hear next from Reverend Petra Malise Sternberg. She has been pastor of the First Congregational United Church of Christ in San Bernardino for almost 19 years. She went to the University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona, majoring in religious studies, and then received a Master of Divinity degree from the United Theological Seminary of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. She was ordained by the United Church of Christ in 2001. She served congregations in Arizona and Minnesota as a lay youth leader and seminary intern, and served congregations in California as a pastor. She has been very active in the interfaith community throughout her time in San Bernardino. Reverend Petra, please.
I bring greetings today to each of you, a greeting of peace, and I bring prayers from my congregation. Our prayer group met this morning just before I came here, and we lifted you and this conference in our prayers, and this place that you are dedicating this week, and also your movement around the world and our partnership together. Thank you for inviting me today, and I'm grateful to, if not a little intimidated, to follow the wonderful words of my amazing colleagues. It's so lovely to hear from each of you this day. And several of you already said things I was going to say, which I should have expected more. I do speak here on behalf of Christianity. However, of course, Christianity is a wide and diverse religion, as each of these religions are. There are thousands of different Christian denominations and traditions in the world. Just in this city alone, there are hundreds of different kinds of Christian churches, some with very different practices and teachings. And so I'll share that I'm a pastor trained in the Reformed Protestant tradition, and my denomination, the United Church of Christ, is one of many in a global movement of united and uniting churches that seek to prioritize ecumenical and interfaith work and partnership. And so it's a great gift to be here today. I am, however, the Christian representative, and so I will say that most Christians claim to follow the writings about Jesus and his followers that are collected in the scriptures, the Gospels, the letters, Acts, and Revelation. And I think when you ask about the Christian understanding of love and service, for many of us, our first response would turn to the story about what Jesus said and did on his last night with his disciples. In the Gospel of John, we are told that Jesus gathered with his closest followers, his disciples, for a meal together, which became known in our tradition as the Last Supper. And before that meal began, as was common in the ancient Middle East, there was a basin and a towel for cleansing, but instead of cleaning his own feet that night, Jesus turned to wash the feet of his disciples instead. And despite the protests of one of the disciples, Peter, who is I am named after in some ways. He protested that his teacher and leader should not be serving him in this way, that he was the one in charge and Peter should be washing his feet. Jesus made it clear that this was an action of love and service for all of his followers to emulate. Jesus said, "So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example that you also should do as I have done for you. Very truly, I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them." And then Jesus taught many other things that night. If you read the Gospel of John, he was quite verbose. But his core teaching, in my perspective, was this. Jesus said to them, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you." And he also said, "If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. Just as I have kept God's commandments and I abide in God's love, I have said these things to you, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete." There are many other places, of course, in the Christian scriptures that also speak to love and service, both in Jesus' actions, when he consistently and without judgment welcomed all people, those of different religious tradition, like the Samaritans, and those whose lives, like the tax collector, were known to be opposed to his teachings because the tax collector was known to be corrupt and take bribes. Jesus reached out to each person. No matter their story, he met with women and men without regard to social conventions. He shared love in his actions and teachings. His beliefs were deeply rooted, of course, in Judaism, as we have already heard. Jesus also taught, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." So Jesus' words and actions are the foundation in Christianity of all of our beliefs about love and service. And we know from history over the last 2,000 years, especially in the times and places in our world where Christianity has become aligned with political and economic powers in our world, sometimes these teachings about love and service have been twisted or ignored in actions that have resulted in their opposite. Colonialism and empire have taken love and service and turned them into conversion and domination of indigenous peoples and other religious traditions around the world. To use Christian language, this is something we need to confess as a sin, to repent, and to seek to heal. Much of the work we engage in today in our world, in many Christian religious traditions, seeks to heal, to unite, to listen to those from other backgrounds, and to bring love and service back to be the focus of our religious traditions. And of course, there are countless stories from history and from our modern world where Christians have chosen to serve alongside others in partnership, not in domination, and have listened to those in need. As in Jesus' story, the foot washing, humility, not notoriety and attention, are the point of Christian service. And unfortunately, there are quite a few famous Christians from the last several decades who instead follow other desires and needs to seek power and fame and wealth. The popular understanding of Christianity in our world has not always been aligned with love and justice. And yet, I am so grateful to know so many ordinary Christians here and around the world who, like so many people that we've already heard about today from each one of your religious traditions, who work in their own neighborhoods and in global connection to serve children, to serve our elders, to share food and shelter, to work together for peace and justice, to reach out to refugees and those who have been displaced by war or violence or disaster, to seek to serve God's creation around us, and to rebuild the wholeness of the beauty of the community in which we live. Most of these people are not household names, but they continue to love and serve because of our religious traditions and teachings, and because we believe in the Christian tradition, as God loves us through Jesus, we too are called to love and serve our neighbors. It is an honor to share in this mission with each one of you. and I pray for each of us as we move forward in service and love. Thank you.
And how that embodies the ideal of love from the Christian standpoint. Beautiful, thank you. And deeply thought-provoking remarks. We will now hear from Swami Sarvadevananda. He is the minister and spiritual leader of the Vedanta Society of Southern California. He is a senior monk of the Ramakrishna Order of India, and he lived near the headquarters of our order at Belur Mutt from 1960 onwards, and had the good fortune to come in contact with many great stalwarts of the Ramakrishna Order, disciples of Sri Sarada Devi and disciples of the direct disciples of Ramakrishna. So he had that chance to touch the feet of some of the great monks of our order. And he joined the order in 1966, received final ordination in 1975. He served the organization's educational institution called Sarada Pit for many, many years. That's right next to our Belur Mutt. And after that, he served as head of the center at the birthplace of Swami Brahmananda, one of our founding monks, in a small village called Shikra Kulingram, where he was very active in relief work and building up economic possibilities for the poor villagers. In 1993, he was, to our very good fortune, he was asked to come to California and became the assistant minister under Swami Swahananda. He was appointed the minister and spiritual leader of the Vedanta Society in 2012, and he is not only head of our center, which has 6 branches, but he also leads the Vedanta Society in Washington, D.C., in Ridgely Manor, New York, in Houston, Texas, and overlooks the activities of nearly a dozen small branches of the Vedanta Society in different parts of the country. Since coming to the United States, he has been very active also in interfaith work. So I look forward to hearing what he has to share with us.
Om Vishnurva Tripurantako Bhavatu Va Brahma Surendro Atava Bhanurva Sasalakshano Ato Bhagawan Buddho Ato Siddho Tova Ragodesho Visho Arti Mohorahito Sattanukampadyato Yas Sarvai Saho Sanskrito Gunaganairi Tasmai Namo Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The one and the only one supreme reality, who is called Vishnu or Shiva, Brahma or Indra, sun god or moon god, Buddha, Mahavira, and the messengers of God, depending on the various spiritual traditions of the world. But for me, I worship always the one going by any name and belonging to any tradition, who is free from attachment, free from hatred, worldliness, ignorance, and who is filled with compassion towards all living beings, and who is possessed of all noble virtues. I salute that reality again and again. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all. It's my great honor to be here and in presence of our Sai brothers and sisters. It is heartening to see that the world can be united together in a common principle, and that common principle, as has been the topic today, the love. And very often you have this paper maybe in your hand, you see how the love grows. It grows in the center is a light, the heart. When the heart is lighted, when heart is illumined, then all this becomes spontaneous. When the light is closed, it does not express our meanness, our unkindness, our brutality, our sectarianism, our bigotry. All these things crop up. And when it opens up, the heart opens up, the light of the truth which is within expands as naturally as love, unconditional service, which is you are bound to do. Whom we love, we must do something for them. That's a human nature. We need not have to make many big philosophy. I was very intrigued today. I know a little bit, but to learn from our respected leaders of different religion and how we are all understanding that love is the key message of all religions. But what is the question? Where is the problem? Why it is so much animosity, so much anger, so much frustration, so much destruction in the world? Because we are not growing internally. The internal growth is the fundamental thing of life. Character building is the fundamental thing of life. Spirituality is the fundamental thing of life. If we focus on this side, and then when as much our heart opens up, that much our hand will be operating to serve others. It will be a fortune, it is said that anyone can give a glass of water, that can be service to God. But this is the outcome of love. And from the ancient time we find that Hindu religion, better to call this Sanatana Dharma, because it's eternal principle of religion. Here, from the Rig Veda time, we find that they say in the book number 113.2, may the one who gives shine most. In the Vedic time onwards, we find in the Indian tradition, there were idea of sacrifice. And in that sacrifice, the end sacrifice is sacrifice to the holy fire. That is one part, this religious tradition of the secular part. But at the end of whatever sacrifice we do, that sacrifice is as a part, at the end we will have to give some charity, some gift to everyone. And as tradition went on down now, even when we do some celebrations of special celebration, say Durga Puja or other celebration, at the end of all celebration you have to feed the people, serve the people, give some gift to others. Hindu idea is that from the beginning we are indebted for 5 types of debts to fulfill. And among that is the service, bhutarina, the rin, the debt. We are indebted to serve and fulfill the debt we have, to pay off that debt by serving others. This is bhutarin. In spiritual tradition of India, it said, Atiti Devo Bhava. Let your guest be your God yourself. Look upon God. This is from the fundamental point to the highest Vedic wisdom. Sarvang khalu idang brahma. Everything is permeated by the one consciousness. Here, the service idea is natural thing, the outcome. The end, we find that Swami Vivekananda, in the last century, or he said it started with Sri Ramakrishna in the 19th century, saint of India, we find that he used to live in the ecstatic life of absorption with God. Day and night, with little inspiration, his mind goes to the transcendental level and comes down. And one day he was talking about how to do How to manifest our spirituality? He said, Jive Daya, you show compassion to human being. Shiva Gyane Jiva Sheva. Try to serve man as God, bringing God down to the human level, to the people we live, we breathe. But Swami Vivekananda, that's why he's so much intrigued, has introduced these ideas, as in Sai Foundation is going on now with the idea of Sai Baba. With this idea, Swami Vivekananda installed this idea that it is only service. And service on what basis? Why shall I love you? I shall be selfish. I shall cut your throat and put your money in my pocket. What is the foundation of my serving? Why shall I give my purse to you? We have to go back to the foundation of this principle, because it is inside of us is the divine, and that divine, in the modern language, it is the one consciousness at this ground of all our existence. Our eyes are seeing, my eyes are seeing, not because the eye sees, not the mind, not the intellect, not the brain, but there is some conscious entity behind, like everywhere, like Wi-Fi. Because of that presence, all the computers are functioning. And that we are forgetting. We see the functioning of the computers. We don't see the connection there, Wi-Fi. And also, how we connect. We have a password. In spiritual life, we should have a password connecting with that power, that energy that is missing in our life. That's why we hate someone. That's why we do not recognize somebody. That's why we ignore the dignity of others. It is our own fault. So what to do? It is to know that one consciousness is behind all. What we say, matter or energy, men, women, sun, moon, stars, galaxies, at the ground of all, there is that one consciousness. And that consciousness, like an ocean, think of the Pacific Ocean. All the ripples and bubbles and waves and foams are there because of the ocean background. That ocean of consciousness is behind all of us. Let us focus that. Swami Vivekananda was so much intrigued, and he suggested that why it has happened? Because we think that we are selfish. We are limiting thinking of ourselves like this much. I am this much. That's why he says, selfishness is the chief sin. Thinking of ourselves first. He who thinks, I will eat first, I will have more money than others, and I will possess everything. He who thinks, I will get to heaven before others, I will get mukti before others, that is the selfish man. The unselfish man says, I will be last, I don't care to go to heaven, I will go to hell if by doing so, I can help my brothers. This unselfishness is the test of religion. So religion is not doctrines and dogmas. My philosophy. Philosophy is there in every religion talking about the same principle. But it is the question of manifestation. How it is to be manifested in every movement of life. Swami Vivekananda says, my ideal can be pressed into a few words. It is to recognize the divinity in all and how to manifest in every movement of life. Every breath of my life should say, I am for others. And who is you? You are no other than me. Foundation, we have to go back to this foundational philosophy, that is the greatness of Vedanta and greatness of the ancient wisdom. That who are we? We are the expression of that one unit ocean of consciousness. Only you are one wave, I am another wave. And we want to go back to our source. And why shall I love you? Because if I am here, I think I am this body. So anywhere I get some pain, I try to cure it. So I am thinking you are separate. But if this idea of going inside it starts, then we find that you are nobody than me. I am everywhere. The infinite ocean of consciousness has appeared in millions and billions and trillions and zillions of waves and ripples and bubbles. But in everywhere there is H2O. So therefore, I am there. Suffering of you is my suffering. Joy of you is my joy. That is the foundation. Otherwise, why shall I do good to others? Swami Vivekananda raised this question. Why shall I do good to others? Because there is only one, and I, in my divine nature, one with all. In my human nature, I am separate. I have my body, mind, emotions, all these. It's a level of ignorance, but we have to go beyond. The service idea, Swami Vivekananda calls, that's why this life is short. The vanities of the world is transient, but they alone live who lives for others. The rest are more dead than alive. See what a strong statement here. We live, this life is short. Let us think of our life. The vanities of the world are transient. All the vanities we carry, these are all transient, but they only live who lives for the others. Rest are more dead than alive. So that idea that the religion of the world have become lifeless mockeries. What the world wants is character. The world is in need of those whose life is one of burning love and selfless love. That love will make every word tell like a thunder word. Awake, awake, great ones. The world is burning in misery. Can you sleep? Let us call and call till the sleeping gods in us awake, till the God within answers to the call. What more is life? What greater work? So the ideal, what is now, it is a worldwide organization, as we hear 134 centers in the countries it is working. What is the message of Sai Baba? Is the message that serve others, and this is the truth, and love others. Love cannot come, it is a superficial talk. Unless we love who is in me. And then say, who is in me? Who is in you? There comes the integrity. We can unite. We will be all different, but we will be integrated in love. And in that love is God itself, on which we stand all. So I pray to the Divine so that we can be inspired more to dedicate our life in this foundation of love, and this natural, spontaneous outcome will be the service to others. And then this distinction, the apparent distinction, which creates separation from each other, should have an end of it. And we love each other with the deepest respect and genuine interest in us. And that is on the ground of non-dual reality of thinking that only one reality in the world, and that is God. And we are standing on that, we are dancing on that, we are dying in that. The waves come, dance, and die into the ocean. So that is our foundation. And in that level we are all connected. And as much as we do, only social service will not do. Social service should be connected with the spirituality. The spirituality and social service should go hand in hand. Thank you all.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your stirring words, reading the words of Swami Vivekananda. It's been such a rich morning with these beautiful presentations from our interfaith brothers and sisters. Thank all of you. Thanks to Dr. Mustafa Hamza Kuko, who even on this holy last day of Ramadan shared with us the messages in the Quran of that we are called on to love everyone, and not only the people, but everything and every being. We are called to love and to serve. It's a beautiful message, and we see that message reflected in his shining face and his loving heart. The messages he sent to me while we were planning this are so full of love that I understand he practices what he's preaching. And we heard from Deborah Boudreau of the Compassion Relief Foundation, Tzu Foundation, Buddhist Foundation, and we can see that ideal of service and compassion in action in the foundation, which is, it's really breathtaking to see how they serve all over the world. And not too far from here is a medical center which we visited, which is providing free medical care and very low-cost medical care to whoever needs it. So we're really inspired to hear from you about how you and your organization put the teachings of Buddha into action in compassion and relief. We're very grateful to Rabbi Hillel Cohen, who shared some very thought-provoking ideas about love and justice. And that beautiful quote, how can we know that we love someone if we know what causes them pain? If we know what brings them joy, then we can say that we love that person. If we don't know, how can we say we love them? Very thought-provoking. Thank you for sharing that wisdom. I'll remember that. We are grateful to Reverend Petra Molly Sternberg, who brought to life that supreme manifester of love, Jesus, and how he washed the feet of his disciples, and how he, by his own example, showed this ideal of love, of universal love, of loving everyone, not just our own people, not just ourselves, but even our enemies, if we should have any enemies. Though I think if one has the kind of love that Jesus had, one's enemies would quickly become one's friends. So thank you to Reverend Petra, and of course thank you to Swami Sarvadevanandaji, who used some very appealing language to describe how the same consciousness dwells in all hearts, in all beings, that of Wi-Fi and a password. We can remember that. The young people can say, oh, I get that. So bringing it down to earth for us and reminding us that why do we not yet see this love manifesting everywhere? Because we haven't done the work we need to do inside, the internal work, the spiritual work. When we do that, the more we can do that, the more we will see this love manifesting everywhere. That the fundamental, where we start is with building our character. So I thank all of our participants in this morning's program, and a thanks to Dr. Reddy for inviting me to organize this. I would like to just ask all of us to take just a moment of silent reflection, just 1 minute to reflect in our hearts on this beautiful teachings we've received. Let us chant together in the 4 languages the word peace. Salam, shalom, shanti, om, shanti, peace. Salam, shalom, shanti, Peace. Salam. Shalom. Shanti. Peace. Salam. Shalom. Shanti. Peace.
What a feast for the soul. Let us give another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we break for a feast for the body, that is lunch, we would like to have a couple of devotional songs to capture the spirit, and then a few very important announcements.
My form, truth is my bread, this is my food.
Love is my form, truth is my bread, bliss is my food.
Love is my form, truth is my bread, this is my food.
Love is my form, truth is my bread, bliss is my food.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
Reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
No reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
Reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
No reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
Prema Satya Ananda, Prema Shanti Ananda.
Prema Satya Ananda, Karma Shanti Ananda.
Prema Satya Ananda, Prema Shanti Ananda.
Prema Satya Ananda, Karma Shanti Ananda.
Shirdi Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai.
Shirdi Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai.
Shirdi Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai.
Shirdi Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai.
Love is my form, truth is my bread, this is my food.
Love is my form, truth is my bread, bliss is my food.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
My life is my message, expansion is my life.
Reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
No reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death.
Prema Satya Ananda, Prema Shanti Ananda.
Prema Satya Ananda, Karma Shanti Ananda.
Shirdi Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai.
Shirdi Sai Sathya Sai Prema Sai Jai Jai.
Shirdi Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai.
Shirdi Baba Sathya Baba Prema Baba Jai Jai.
Love is my form,
Truth is my bread, bliss is my food.
Om Tat Sat Shri
Narayana पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तू, सिद्ध बुद्ध तू, स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तू, सविता पावक तू।
ब्रह्ममस्तु
यहोवा शक्ति तू, येषु पिता प्रभु तू, रुद्र विष्णु तू, राम कृष्ण तू, रहीमताओ तू, रहीमताओ तू। वासुदेव हो विश्वरूप तू, चिदानंद हरि तू, अद्वितीय तू, अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू, आत्मलिंग शिव तू, आत्मलिंग शिव तू। शांति शांति शांति। समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। शांति शांति शांति।
May all the worlds be happy. Jai Sai Ram.
Now, before we break, I have a few announcements and then 1 minute from our respected Swami Sarvadevanandaji. So the announcements are as follows, and I believe you are eagerly awaiting for this. Lunch will be served outside. The gentlemen would kindly go this way to my right, to your left. The ladies go the other way. When you go outside, they'll give you directions, and lunch is in 2 beautiful white tents towards the back of the building. Plenty of sitting and plenty of food. Tree planting is going to take place after lunch. Exact time is not known, but it will be about 2:30 maybe, in that time range. And if you want some information, it's being led by our volunteer team under the direction of Dr. Krishna Mohan Reddy in front. So if you are interested in observing or something, please find him in the back. Now we have another announcement which is also important. Just come to your attention that about 20-25 of you are staying in Days Inn. And for those, there are some issues that need to be resolved. If you could kindly go to the back on my left, the volunteers will try to help you with those issues. So I repeat again, those who are staying in Days Inn, if you could please see the volunteers towards the back of the building before you go for lunch. There are some activities that are going on after lunch hour because we'll be back again at 4 o'clock. So the workshop and panel leaders who are here with us will meet at 2:30 p.m. right here in the middle of this beautiful Yajur Mandir. So again, the workshop and panel leaders are requested to come here at 2:30. There will be a flag ceremony rehearsal. Dr. Narendranath Reddy mentioned to you we have flag ceremony tomorrow. So make sure all the flags are there, all the people are there. At 3 o'clock, we'll meet outside near the lunch area. And that will be led by Mr. Leonardo Gutter from Argentina. He'll be here shortly. We ask everybody to return here by 4 p.m. for bhajans. And now before we end, I'd like to give the podium for a couple of minutes to respected Maharaj Sarvadevanandaji.
I took this opportunity to thank all of you who have assembled here and those who will come tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and I may not be there. I'm taking this advantage, this opportunity to thank you all again from my heart. And also, I think that there's divine force is working to integrate this whole movement of service and this love, expanding in the practical way in 134 countries. But it is God is behind. But it makes someone instruments. So I am very thankful to Dr. Reddy for his day and night service. He has given us office. He was my doctor also. But giving up all those other responsibilities, dedicated 24 hours in one thought how to spread this message of love and service is a great inspiration for all of us. I would suggest, and also Anupam is his right hand, in every night, 11 o'clock, they start their official business. You all know, he starts their office at around 10:30, 11 o'clock when you go to sleep. And he continues his official business all over the world, and their centers, their problems, and to guide them, help them, to move them, and to keep them in integrity. So this is the greatest thing of example of dedication for the cause. We should all do that with unselfishness. When self comes in between, ego comes in between, that is the cause of distraction. But this is such a wonderful movement have started. I wish and pray that it should flourish more and more with such dedication and unselfish activity. So my hearty thanks goes for Dr. Narendra Reddy and for Anupam and all the people who are working in different centers all over the country, all over different countries, and also in this state. And this integrity, this love, this music, this chanting, this service is a total development of human personality. And I thank you again, Dr. Reddy and Anupam, and all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. And now we'll break for lunch. Jai Sai Ram. One minute, food prayer.
Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivadena Gantavyam
Brahmakarma Samadhina Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha Pranapanasamaayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti